The command came sharp, echoing through the steel walls of the training hangar like a thunderclap. "Take off that uniform." The young woman standing in the middle of the room didn't flinch. Her posture remained firm, shoulders squared, eyes steady, though her heart pounded beneath the fabric of her flight jacket. Every man in the room stared at her, some smirking, others whispering. They didn't know her. They didn't recognize her face. All they saw was a young woman wearing a uniform she, in their eyes, hadn't earned. The air inside the hangar was heavy with judgment. The commander, a grizzled veteran of 25 years, had seen hundreds come and go, rookies with big dreams but little discipline. But there was something about her that irritated him. She stood too still, too calm, as if the entire world's weight couldn't touch her. He took a few steps closer, his boots echoing. He wanted to remind her of her place. She didn't move. She didn't explain herself. The light from the hangar windows caught the faint shimmer of a ribbon bar beneath her jacket. When the commander's eyes fell upon it, he froze. It wasn't just a bar, it was the ribbon. The one that carried a story no soldier could ever forget. The Medal of Honor, the nation's highest military distinction, rested silently against her chest. And for the first time in years, the commander's voice failed him. The silence that followed was suffocating. Every officer, every recruit, every mechanic who had been watching suddenly stood still. The smirks vanished. The whispers died. The woman before them wasn't just another officer. She was the reason hundreds of them were alive. Her name was Captain Elise Warren, a name that once echoed across battlefields but had faded from public memory, buried beneath classified reports and forgotten missions. Years ago, she had led a rescue operation deep behind enemy lines, refusing to leave anyone behind even when the odds were impossible. Her helicopter had been shot down, her team surrounded. Yet she had fought through the night, saving 12 soldiers who otherwise would have perished. No one knew the full story. It had been sealed under national security clearance. Now, standing there in silence, she was just a trainer, reassigned to teach the next generation. Not for fame, not for recognition, but because the uniform was all she knew. The men around her didn't understand sacrifice the way she did. To them, it was just a rank, a paycheck, a mission log. To her, it was blood, memory, and duty. The commander, ashamed, took a step back. His eyes shifted from the medal to her steady face. The weight of realization hit him. She had seen things he never would. She had carried comrades through fire and fear. And now she stood before him not as a student, but as a symbol of everything the uniform meant. He straightened unconsciously, his instinct taking over. And then, without another word, he saluted. The room followed. One by one, every man in the hangar stood tall, raising their hands in silent respect. Elise didn't smile. She didn't need to. Her calm eyes told a story far deeper than any words could. She returned the salute briefly, then turned to the whiteboard at the front of the room. She began the lesson. No anger, no ego, no explanation. Just quiet authority. She spoke about leadership not as a theory, but as something carved in scars. She spoke of loss without bitterness, courage without pride, and duty without reward. Every word she said carried weight. Every pause reminded them of what it truly meant to wear that uniform. By the time the class ended, the recruits didn't see a woman in uniform anymore. They saw a soldier, a hero, a teacher who had lived through what they could only imagine. That evening, when the commander walked past her office, he saw the lights still on. Elise was sitting alone, staring at a photograph, her old unit. Some faces smiling, some gone. The Medal of Honor gleamed faintly in the dim light, but her eyes weren't on it. They were on the faces, the people she'd saved and those she couldn't. She whispered softly, as if speaking to ghosts. "You're still here. Every one of you." Outside, the wind moved across the base, carrying the faint hum of engines and the low murmur of soldiers changing shifts. The world kept moving, but inside that small office, time stood still, with the quiet dignity of a woman who had given everything and asked for nothing in return. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like and share it. Heroes like Elise remind us that courage isn't about glory. It's about sacrifice, humility, and love for those who stand beside you. Special request, comment below. What does true honor mean to you?